Have you ever felt like you're not good enough no matter how hard you try? Especially in trading, you feel like every time I'm giving my level best and still I'm not being consistently profitable trader. Okay, so profitable trader is one thing, like you are earning profits here and there, but consistently you're not taking money out of the market, right? And similarly in life also, have you ever felt like you're not good enough no matter how hard you're trying? But what if I'll tell you that this feeling might actually be the secret behind your biggest growth? And that leads to our today's chapter, that is not being good enough. Okay, so not being good enough, like how exactly it really works and what is the psychology behind it and how can we cope up with it. That's what we are going to understand in this chapter. By the end of the session, you will have all the answers and the exercise also by which you can get out of it and get the best of it. Okay. Now, when I won the Oscar, I thought it was a fluke. I thought everybody would find out and they'd take it back. They'd come to my house knocking on the door. Excuse me, we meant to give that to someone else. That was going to Meryl Streep. This is the statement by Jodie Foster, and he won the Oscar, right? Similarly, if you can relate with this part, right? So I can give you my own example. Like sometimes when I'm accomplishing anything, it feels like, okay, I do I really deserve that, or is it like just a fluke? And especially a boy like me, when everybody else is complimenting you in some sense, you feel like, do I deserve this? Have you ever felt it? If yes, then okay, stick with me. All right. Now you think, why would anyone want to see me again in a movie? And I don't know how to act anyway. So, why am I doing this? This is the question, or this is the statement by Meryl Streep itself. Right now, let's begin the chapter. Do you feel as though you aren't good enough? Guess what? You're not the only one. The other day, I wrote the following to a fellow blogger. There are a lot of topics I could write about, but there are already so many books out there. Sometimes I'm like, what's the point? Similarly, I'm making this video here and I feel like there are a lot of YouTube videos already made in this same segment, and especially this same topic. So am I actually adding anything in, or am I wasting my energy in some sense? But the answer is no, and I have also already figured it out. But let's see what the book has to tell us more. Okay, he replied, I know the feeling of what's the point. Everything worth saying has already been said, and who am I to write about it anyway? What have I achieved so far? Well, I guess it's natural. Good to know that we are not the only ones struggling. Whether or not you are aware of it, millions of people feel the same way. The feeling of not being good enough alone must have killed more dreams than anything else. And who has never felt that way? Here is a non-exhaustive list of how I felt in my life. So author is like the Thibaut Maurice. The author himself is giving his own experience, and I have already related to so many things given over here. But hopefully you are also, relating to it, because once you'll relate to it, then only you'll know, okay, this is a problem where I have to work on, and this is the path to grow. Okay. Now, I'm not a good enough writer. This is the thought by Thibaut Maurice, and you can relate to this in your own field. Let's say you're in technical field, so you'll be like, am I technically this much sound? Or if you're in sports, am I good enough to compete in higher levels, or whatever the situation is? Okay. I'm not a good enough writer. I'm not charismatic enough. I'm not competent enough. I'm not confident enough. I'm not courageous enough. I'm not disciplined enough. I'm not good enough at public speaking. I'm not handsome enough. I'm not inspiring enough. I'm not interesting enough. I'm not making enough money. I'm not muscular enough. I'm not patient enough. I'm not perseverant enough. I'm not proactive enough. I'm not productive enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not taking enough action. I'm not tough enough. I'm not working hard enough. My English isn't good enough. Especially in a country like India, you can relate to this part, right? Where people judge your intellect directly or indirectly basis of or on the basis of how fluent you are in English. Especially in my area, I have related to this part. Now, my Japanese isn't good enough, and my memory isn't good enough, and I could go on and on and on. All right. People who feel they aren't good enough tend to have low self esteem. They focus on what they aren't good enough at while filtering out all the things they are good at. Try complimenting them, and all you'll hear is it's no big deal. So similarly, especially if a guy like me is getting compliments from someone, I'll be like, no, no, it is not a big deal, right? People can do it with ease. This is a easy task. That's why I excelled in this. So we generally tend to feel in this manner. If we are good at something, then this is not a skill. This is something that everybody knows. This is the common way we think. If you can relate to me, or even if you are not able to relate to, if you are not able to relate to me, then I'm telling you my side of story. That this is generally how it works. If I'm good at something and I'm getting appreciation from someone regarding that skill of mine, I'll be like, no, 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 it is a easy task. You could also done it like way better than me, or so and so forth, right? Now it's not a big deal. Worse, they may even think you're being polite or trying to manipulate them. These people have a hard time accepting compliments. Instead of a simple thank you, they return the compliment or downplay their role. I've done that. Whenever someone is complimenting me, I feel like there is this urgency to give the compliment back to the person, even though if I don't feel like giving the compliment in the first place. I'll be like, if he or she complimented me about something of mine, some skill or something, then I'll immediately give some compliment in return or downplay their role, like, oh no, no, this was the easy task, right? Something like that. You could also done this, like you could have also done that. Perhaps you are acting the same way. Yes, I do. See, if you do one of the following things when receiving a compliment: dismiss the whole thing as being no big deal. I have already talked about it. Anybody could have done it. Talk about all the things you did wrong while explaining what you could have done better. Okay, all right. Try to return the compliment. Thank you. I think you did a fantastic job too. Right. So I've been through all these three stages. Right. Okay. Notice your inability to accept a compliment 100% in the three cases above. You may not only brush off your accomplishment, but also magnify every single of your failure to reinforce the case you aren't worthy. Okay, in psychological level, you are giving your mind some signals, which is not a good thing for you in a longer run. You keep a long list of your failures, unwilling to let go of them as they fit your story. Who would you be if you were no longer the man or woman who's never good enough? As strange as it may seem, there's something scary about that. At least the certainty of not being good enough gives you some comfort. Okay. Now we are understanding the logic behind it, right? Why we want to stay in that pit where we feel like, okay, we're not good enough, and someone is trying to get us out of this based on our accomplishment, and then we again try to go on the same path, saying, okay, no, I'm actually not good enough, because that is our comfort zone, right? But for growth, you have to come out of it, right? Imagine what would happen if you release the whole you have on your story. Try something you have always wanted to do and fail. What you suspected for a long time would become true. You aren't good enough. Or worse, what could happen? What would happen if you were to succeed? How would that fit into your story? Okay, remember, your brain is biased towards negativity. Adding your own bias will certainly not help you feel good about yourself. The fact is, you do most things well, although a lack of experience, interest, or talent may explain why you aren't doing as well as you would like to in certain areas. It has nothing to do with you not being good enough, right? So over the period of time, if you'll repeat same thing again and again, you'll get expertise in that, right? So for an example, the pioneer in cricket, right, Virat Kohli, if you'll listen to many speeches of like where he's explaining his part, his side of his story, you'll always see that he's trying to force or like enforce this very idea that hard work and perseverance beat everything, and perseverance hold a greater value than even hard work, right? So if you're putting small efforts on a daily basis but for a longer period of time, after a certain time you'll see yourself at a place you never imagined you would ever reach, right? That's the power of perseverance. All right, the constant efforts that you're putting. So start. Never wait for a perfect time, just start it anyway. Okay, start, and on the way you'll figure out things. Okay, most of all, what will happen, you'll lose, or you'll not succeed in one sense, but if you'll not try only, then you killed the very idea to get success, or like you killed the very possibility of getting success, right? You didn't start only in the first place, but if you start and you tried, you failed, you tried again, ultimately you'll reach to the point where you thought you will reach one day, even beyond that. That's the beauty of it, right? How to use the feeling of not being good enough to grow. Now we are coming to the main part, like how can we use it in our growth. Not feeling good enough is a sign of low self-esteem. Many people experience low self-esteem in various degree. I certainly do. For some, every single thing they do is insufficient. For others, they feel inadequate only in certain situations or areas of their life. Wherever you are on the self-esteem spectrum, you can probably benefit from a boost in your self-esteem, right? Identifying what triggers your feeling of inadequacy. The first step is to find out what triggers these feelings. What thoughts are you identifying with? Which areas of your life are concerned? Especially if we'll talk about the anxiety, stress, and this depression kind of thing, right? And the childhood trauma. In psychology, you must have heard about this terms. The childhood trauma. What is this childhood trauma? Something happened in the childhood, and now it became the part of your belief system for so damn long, and somehow you just accepted it to the fullest that you are not able to outgrow it. Right? That's the childhood trauma, and you need to consciously put a lot of effort into it. Then only you can outgrow it, and that's where the experts play their major role. But there are certain things that you can do from yourself as well. Okay, now take a few minutes to write down the following: the situation in which you feel like you aren't good enough, and the thought you identify with. Your story, what is your story? All right, so write it down, find out how your belief system is wired till date, and where exactly you want to reach, and what kind of brain or what kind of belief system you need to reach that particular point where you want to be. You need to do the changes, right, in the internal environment, and you'll observe the changes in the external environment as well. Keeping track of your accomplishment. The second step is to keep track of your accomplishment. No, not feeling good enough often result from the biased view you hold about yourself. You focus on your shortcomings, failing to acknowledge your success. People with healthy self-esteem tend to look at themselves in a more objective way, acknowledging both their shortcomings and their strength. Right. So I'm not saying that you have to only focus in one side. Even the author is also saying the same thing. You have to look at your shortcomings to outgrow it and be the better version of yourself. But at the same time, you have to, acknowledge your accomplishment as well, because that will help you to improve your self-esteem. To improve your self-esteem, start acknowledging all the things you're doing well. The following exercise will help you do that. Exercise 1: create a win log. One of the best ways to acknowledge your accomplishment is to write them down. For this exercise, I encourage you to use your dedicated notebook. First write down things you have accomplished in your life. Come up with a list of 50 things. Okay, I'm not saying if the other people are thinking it as an accomplishment or not. Okay, no, in your own way, in your own mind, whatever you feel is like an accomplishment, write it down. It can be as small as, I want today a small bet, not bet, a game with my friend which required some skill or whatever it is. Okay, and it can be as big as, like, I have got my master's degree, postgraduate degree in so and so, or whatever it is, right? So first write down things, everything you have accomplished in your life. Come up with a list of 50 things, 50 dang things. If you run out of things, write smaller accomplishment. Okay, start with the bigger accomplishment and then come to the smaller ones. If you run out of your, bigger, what I can say, bigger accomplishment, this will help you realize how much you have already accomplished. At the end of each day, write down all the things you have accomplished that day. It can be simple things as, I woke up on time, I exercised, I ate a healthy breakfast. These are, again, it is a way to give yourself the positive affirmation, right? Which will in turn give you a positive feel about yourself, which will increase your self-esteem, and hence you'll outgrow yourself for betterment, for growth, and similar kind of stuff, right? Try to come up with 5 to 10 things each day. Exercise 2: fill up your self-esteem jar. An alternative is to write down each things you have accomplished on separate pieces of paper and put them into a jar. I'm telling you multiple, like, as the author is also telling you, like, multiple ways to, boost your self-esteem. You can opt any one of them. Okay, any one of them, and start with the smaller one, right? Wherever you feel comfortable. It should be like author said, okay, I have to have a jar and I don't have a jar, so I'll quit this task anyway. No, like, you can find the alternative or whatever the suitable way you find out of this mentioned ways. Just pick it up and start working on it. Okay, an alternative is to write down each things you have accomplished on separate pieces of paper and put them into a jar. Here are a few recommendations to ensure you make the most out of this exercise. Make sure your jar or any other container you use is in a visible location. The best location is probably at on your desk. The second best location is your bedroom. Select a container you like, choose a design you are fond of. I- it's all about your self-esteem, so anything that makes you feel good is advisable, like your favorite athlete or your favorite character or favorite whatever. Let's say you want to become a great stand-up comedian, so you can put a picture of a great stand-up comedian over there, right? So whatever makes your self-esteem go to a certain point can work for you. Okay, now make sure it is transparent so that you can see it filling up. Give it a positive name. Example, my self-esteem jar, declaration of love to myself, etc. Write your accomplishment on a paper of for paper you love. For instance, use different colors so that when the jar fills up, it creates something pleasant to the eye. One idea would be to use origami paper. Write with your favorite pen. Now, these small steps that the author is trying to say, they play a very vital role in your mental environment. So try it out once. It might feel like a lot of tasks to do, right? Especially for like, I don't want to say it, but especially for guy, it looks like something that is burdensome in the beginning, right? But try it out. You're doing it for your betterment. So there is this saying in Hindi, right? If you do understand Hindi, there is this, क्यों डरेगी जिंदगी में क्या होगा कुछ ना होगा तो तजुर्बा होगा. So similarly, like, the gist is, don't be afraid if you lose anything or you'll not be at a certain stage in your life. Just try it out, even if you'll fail, so you'll get the experience. That's the gist of it, right? So try it out. If you'll get something positive out of it, great. If you'll not get something positive out of it, again, that is completely fine. You didn't lose anything, right? You got an experience, so you got something, right? So that's fine. The idea is to show more respect towards yourself by acknowledging your multiple accomplishments. Exercise 3, create a positive journal. You can also create a journal to write down every compliment you received that day. Your colleague told you your shoes look nice, write it down. Your friend complimented your hair, write it down. Your boss told you how well you did a task, write it down as well. Don't question the sincerity of these compliments. Always assume they are genuine. The idea is to train your mind to focus on the positive things that happen in your life. They're, they are happening whether or not you acknowledge them. Here is how to make most of that exercise. Buy a notebook you like, personalize it, add stickers, draw something, add pictures, or use different colors. Don't want to do any of this stuff? That's fine as well. It's your journal. Whatever works for you, do it. Okay, but do it. That's the whole point. Keep it with you, carry it with you, and look for new compliments to add to your amazing collection. Optional. Review it every day. Go through old entries and mentally thank people who complimented you. You can say, thank you, insert name, I love you. Feel free to read the old entries in the morning, in the evening, or both, or whatever you feel like it. It's up to you. Again, this is your journal. These are just suggestions. Whatever works for you, do it. Learning to accept compliments. Chances are you have difficulties accepting compliments. Guilty, guilty. Do the following sentences look familiar? It's never a big deal. Everybody could have done it. It's because so and so helped you. I could have done it better. Yes, sir, I have done that. Like, I have heard it many a times. Sometimes I was the one who was saying it to myself, not to someone else. Here is a great reason why you would accept compliments, because the person who made the compliment wants you to receive it, not to flush it down the toilets. Imagine you just gave a gift to someone. How could you how would you feel if that person, after opening the box, dropped the gift to the floor, stepped on it, and threw it away? You won't like it, would you? Sadly, that's what we often do when we receive a compliment. When we refuse to accept a compliment, we are disrespecting the person who went out of their way to deliver it. Wouldn't you want your compliment to be accepted wholeheartedly? Yes, I do, right? If I'm complimenting someone, I want to acknowledge, like, I want that other person should at least acknowledge it. It shouldn't be like he's discarding the very idea in which I'm complimenting he or she. Right. Exercise one. Accept compliments. This simple exercise will help you accept a compliment. Whenever someone compliments you, say the following: Thank you. Insert the name of the person. That's it. There's nothing simpler. No thank you, but thank you, you too, or it wasn't a big deal. Simply say thank you. Okay. There is no urgency to return the compliment as soon as possible to the person. No, it's not like that. If you genuinely feel like, do it. If you're doing it just because the other person complimented you, don't do it. Okay. Here is how to make the most of that exercise. Say thank you out loud and clearly. You may discover you have the tendency to repress your feeling and end up saying thank you almost mechanically. In fact, you may realize you have never really said thank you with all your heart. Let it sink. Before you start a new sentence, give space for the feeling of gratitude to express itself. Don't downplay the compliment or explain why you aren't worthy or unworthy of it. You're worthy or unworthy of it. Tell it the way you feel it. Show your appreciation by feeling the person who complimented you how you feel. You may experience resistance. Many of us have difficulties expressing gratitude because our pride prevents us from doing it. That's the very important one. Like, we feel like our pride is somehow preventing us from doing this, accepting the gratitude part, right? Now, what's the next thing? Okay, let me just change the color of the pen. I write, okay, great. Hmm. Prevent us from doing so. After all, we are strong and don't need anybody to help or compliment, do we? We don't want to feel vulnerable. If you experience resistance and find the exercise difficult, recognize this is normal. Just force yourself into doing this. Okay. Initially, you'll feel the resistance, but after a while, you'll get adapted to this new reality. Okay. Your ability to accept a compliment can be a good indicator of your level of self-esteem. Practice accepting compliments and allow yourself to feel vulnerable. Accepting you're worthy of compliments will help you boost your self-esteem. Exercise 2, the appreciation game. The purpose of this game is to learn to appreciate things in yourself you didn't previously acknowledge or like. It'll work well if you have a partner you can play the game with on a regular basis. Tell your partner three things you appreciate in them and ask them to do the same. Be as specific as possible. I don't worry and don't worry about coming up with big things. Here are some examples. I appreciate that you prepared breakfast this morning even though you were in a rush. I appreciate that you picked up the kids today. I appreciate the way you always listen to my problems after work. Okay, now this is the like rough idea the author is trying to frame. You can do it in your own way, but the whole idea is do it. To go further, self esteem is a complex topic. It affects a lot of people and is often misunderstood. Overcoming low self esteem takes time and effort, and that's what we are trying to do, right? You have to put the time and effort into it. If you regularly feel you aren't good enough, I encourage you to refer to the following books. If you upon if upon reading these books you realize you have severe and chronic self-esteem issue, you may want to consult a specialist. So there is this what I can say book recommendation. You can give it a shot. The Six Pillars of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Brandon, PhD. Breaking the Chain of Low Self-Esteem by Marilyn Sorensen, PhD. Low self-esteem, misunderstood and diagnosed. Why you may not find the help you need by Marilyn Sorensen, again PhD holder. Below is a brief summary of some of the main ideas in each book. In this book, The Six Pillars of Self-Esteem, Nathaniel Brandon identifies six practices of self-esteem you can work on to develop healthier self esteem. Okay, so let's understand these 6 points. First one, living consciously. In Nathaniel Brandon's words, to live consciously means to seek to be aware of everything that bears on our actions, purposes, value, and goals to the best of our ability, whatever the ability may be, and to behave in accordance with that which we see and now. So basically, live in conscious manner, like do everything consciously. All right. Second one is self acceptance, is choosing to value yourself. Okay, accept the way you are. You can work for the betterment of certain quality of yourself, but first of all you have to accept the way you are as of now, right? You should not be like, okay, this is my weak point and I should hide it from someone. No, you shouldn't be like that. Accept yourself. You can work on it. That is completely fine. And it's normal. Nobody in this world is perfect. You have heard it around many times, right? But try to inculcate this very idea in your mental system. Okay. Self acceptance is choosing to value yourself, to treat yourself with respect, and to stand up for your right to exist. Self acceptance is the basis upon which self esteem develops. Third one, self responsibility. It is realizing no one is coming to save you and you are responsible for your life. It is accepting that you are responsible for your choices and action. You are responsible for how you use your time and for your happiness, because only you can change your life. Now, for this particular point, I have this example in my mind. If you have watched this Bollywood movie, that is Tamasa. So there is this Ranveer Kapoor, he played a character and he was trying to get the answer from the external world. So he went to a guy and he was asking the ending of the story. So the guy in response said, "You want to know your story, like the ending of the story from me?" He just literally shouted to Ranveer Kapoor, the character of Ranveer Kapoor, and he was like, "That's your life, that's your story. You tell me, what do you want as the ending of your life, your story? What is the ending of your story? You tell me that." Right? So the very idea is, it's your life, it's your story. You can build it the way you want. Okay, don't try to get the what I can say, assurance from others. Okay, till the time it is legal, whatever you are doing, it is completely fine. It's your story. If you don't like the ending, just change it. Okay, it requires a lot of guts and time, but again, the gist is, it is your life, it is your story. You can change it anytime you want. Okay, now, because only you can change your life, that's the very idea of this point as well. Assertiveness means honoring your wants, needs and values and seeking appropriate forms of their expression in reality. Okay, living purposefully is to use your power to achieve the goals you have selected. In other words, it's your ability to set and achieve goals in every area of your life. Like, you have a purpose wherever you want to work. Till the time it is making sense in your mind, that's enough. Okay, personal integrity is behaving in a way that matches your ideals, convictions and beliefs. It's when you can look at yourself in the mirror and know you are doing the right thing. In Breaking the Chain of Low Self Esteem, Marilyn Sorensen provides a great overview of what self esteem is and how it works. The author explains that low self esteem stems from the negative perception you hold of yourself. A perception, a perception that is largely, if not entirely, based on your negative interpretations of past experience. Right? The childhood trauma thing that I've said it earlier. Right? Whatever trauma that you hold from the past experience, just leave it. It was all in past for a reason, right? Now, it is the high time you have to outgrow it. This distorted perception of reality leads you to experience fear and anxiety. Your family environment may have played a big part. Perhaps your parents have repeatedly put you down, making you feel as though nothing you did was ever good enough. You may now firmly believe you are less worthy than others. As a result, you filter everything based on this negative image of yourself. It's as if you were looking at reality through tinted glasses, glasses that discard praise and compliments, remembering only criticisms. The examples in her book will help you understand how self-esteem issues manifest in real life. In addition, Ms. Sorensen provides a dozen of practical exercises to help you become more aware of your self-esteem issues and provide you the tool to develop a healthier self-esteem. Now, this action step is based on the workbook. If you need the workbook, let me know in the comment section. Okay. So by this, we are coming to the end. If I'll summarize what we learned today. So basically, we understood why it is very important to have a strong self-esteem, and whatever the low self-esteem or whatever the reasons we have behind it, we need to drop it right away. We learned about certain exercise, like how we can, drop the ideas or the negative interpretations of the past, and how can we outgrow it for the better life and wherever we want to be in the future. Okay, so yes, a very interesting question based on it is waiting for you guys in the comments, so make sure that you're responding to it. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, universe. Thank you so much, Radharanji. We'll meet next time. Till then, stay healthy, stay safe, and peace out.